start your business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Tony Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Drastic Franchise Connector Show. My name is Tony Harris Taylor. I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I work with Zors to teach their Zs how to show up, be up, follow up to blow up so that they can turn their contacts into contracts. I'm also a franchisee with Network in Action, where we bring business owners together to build community, connections, collaborations, get some coaching so they can make more cash together. I am the executive director and visionary for Multicultural Franchise Connectors, where we're bringing more women and people of color into franchising. And lastly, I'm a franchise consultant with Drastic Franchise Matchmakers, helping those women and people of color find their right fit franchise. Welcome to today's show. Today, I want to talk about marketing with speaking. Speaking next to networking is the second best way to attract your ideal clients. Now, some of you will say that you are in that 75% of the population who hates the idea, the thought of speaking makes you want to die instead of getting up on a stage. But today's guest is my dear friend and coaching client, Star Bobatoon, who teaches entrepreneurs how to own their stage. It's not about just getting up there and speaking. You got to have a clear message. You've got to have stage presence. And she's an actress, and she brings a little bit of that to the stage, and she teaches her clients how to do the same. When I tell you I've literally made millions of dollars from speaking, I've made millions of dollars from speaking, not paid speaking though. And that's where some people get it twisted. Yes, I do get paid to speak. So anybody out there want me to come speak, I will gladly get paid to speak. But oftentimes I speak for a lower fee so I can generate leads for my higher fee services. And sometimes, if the audience is right, I'll speak for free, right? So there are multiple models for bringing clients in and speaking. And today we're going to talk about not only those models, but why you should be using speaking and telling your story to engage your audience. We'll be right back with my dear friend, Star Bobatoon. Are you a corporate renegade? That is someone who is frustrated with the rat race of corporate, or maybe you were recently laid off of your job. Or perhaps you're an entrepreneur looking for your next stream of income. Hi, my name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I want to invite you to have a conversation with me about how franchising, becoming a franchise owner, can take your life and business to the next level. It did for me. I purchased my franchise in 2019, turned around my primary business, and now I want to help others to do the same. Hop on my calendar and let's chat about how franchising can take your life and your business to the next level. Talk to you soon. All right, we are back with my girl, Star Bobatoon. Welcome back, Star.
Hey, sister. Good to see you.
Good to see you. In your own words, introduce yourself.
I am Star Bobatoon. I am a public speaking and storytelling coach. I work with professionals so they can get more confidence and more clarity on every stage they take every time they speak.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you heard my opening.
Yes.
And I talked about people are afraid to speak. I'm looking at my other screen over here. Google and AI says 75% of the population has glossophobia. I didn't even know it had a term for it, which is the fear of public speaking. So let's dissect that a minute. Why do you think people have a big fear of speaking?
You know, the reason that most people have a fear of speaking is because they are concerned with how they look, how they're going to come off. What are people going to think? What if I do something stupid? What if I embarrass myself? That is the main reason. People don't want to be embarrassed, and they don't have the courage to just step into who they are. Right. And so the fear is going to go, it's going to go back. It's going to go, there's layers to it, sister. There are layers to it. But I think that is like the overarching thing. How am I going to look? And one of the things that I teach when I coach clients is we talk specifically about that thing, right? Because I have a talk I have called 5 strategies to overcome nervousness. And that's one of the strategies, is to remember that it's not about you. It's not about you. If a speaker can shift their focus from what are they going to think of me to I've got this good information for them, I'm telling you, it reduces the nervousness.
Absolutely. You took the words right out of my brain and my mouth. And, you know, we sometimes share a brain. So it's not about you. And if you have a fear, then you're focused on the wrong thing. You know, I often tell my clients, get out of your head, get into your heart, and share what you know. And when you share it in a way that you're telling a story, or you're sharing from a place of vulnerability, you're sharing from a place of wanting to help people feel that, and then they want to work with you. You want to agree with that?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's all about, it is exactly as you're saying, speaking from your heart. If you are thinking of the audience and how they're going to benefit and what you've got to give, that's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. But I will say another reason why people are afraid to speak is because they don't do a very simple thing, Tony, a very simple thing. It's called rehearse. That's it. It's called, there's so many people I work with. Oh, I just get up on the stage and, you know, whatever comes out of my mouth. Well, that might be why you're nervous, right? So I always tell people to figure out what it is you want to say, and just the main points. You don't have to memorize. You don't have to know everything, but what are your main points? Practice those main points. And one of the things that I also say, Tony, is you got to practice with your mouth. With your mouth. Most people, they practice like this.
Right. They read
it to themselves. It sounds good in the head, but the first time they start to speak, the words get all jumbled. They get all jumbled up and they twist, they fall all over themselves. It's like if you had to do a tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. If you had to do that 15 times, the first time you did it, you'd be messed up, jacked up, right? I've done it a bunch of times and I still have to pause. But if you were to do it 10, 15 times, it would roll off your mouth a lot easier. The first time the words come out of your mouth should not be in front of your audience. It should be in private, where you can stumble over the words and see what feels good. And the thing about that is we write differently than we speak. Write differently than we speak. So we can write it and it sounds good. We read it in our heads. Ooh, it sounds good. But then when it comes out of your mouth, it sounds terrible. And so you need that opportunity to go, let me use some words that I would use if I were speaking. I remember working with one of my clients. She had a presentation coming up. And so we did her presentation. She wrote it out, everything. We get on our call. And it's like, okay, so read your presentation for me. And she reads it to herself. I'm like, no, I need you to read that out loud so I can hear it. And so we did it. We read it out loud. And I'm like, excellent. Put the paper away. Try it again. We did it again. She's like, again? I'm like, yes, baby. We're going to do this a couple of times. But by the time we finished just our session, she had so much more confidence. And of course, she aced her presentation.
Awesome. So who do you typically work with?
I typically work with professionals, and I'm going to say it. I work mostly with professional women. I work with professional women who feel that they have been undervalued, who feel that they are not seen, not heard. And the problem is because they're not showing up in their full power. Unfortunately, many women have been taught to shrink, to be quiet. And many women have chosen to dim their lights and mute their voices in order to make other people feel comfortable, right? And these are the women that I love to speak with because I get them to dismiss that diminishing story that they've come up with about themselves and to develop a new empowering story, a story about the life that they were meant to live. And when they step into that story, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And so you can be a woman that's corporate, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be someone re-entering the workforce. And it's not just about stage speaking, right, Star?
Exactly. And most of the people that I work with, that's why I stopped saying I work with speakers, because I don't generally work with speakers. The people who work with me would not call themselves speakers. They'll call themselves leaders. They'll call themselves business owners. They'll call themselves entrepreneurs. They won't call themselves speakers because that's not their focus. However, what we know is you have to speak to grow your business. You have to speak to grow your business. So that is the type of person that I work with most of the time.
And it's also, you have to have the same confidence in sales presentations. Talk to me about how stories change the game for sales.
You are absolutely right. I tell people that I want them to own the stage. But here's the deal. Your stage is different than someone else's stage, right? Like you were just saying, sometimes your stage is a stage in front of thousands of people, which is fabulous. But sometimes the stage is a board meeting. There's about 7 of you in the room. Sometimes the sales is a one-on-one conversation. So you're right. There are different kinds of stages. And so we want to talk a little bit about storytelling. Here is the deal. And everybody in business knows this. Everybody knows it. People do business with people they
know, like, and trust.
Thank you so much. We all know that. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And one of the quickest, easiest, most powerful way to get people to know, like, and trust you is to tell your story. You know how it is when you meet someone for the first time, you go on that first date. And I'm not even talking about the romantic kind. You go networking somewhere, or you just meet someone, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh my God, let's go have coffee. That's your first date. What do you do on your first date? You tell stories. You get to know each other. And by the time you leave, you're like, oh my God, you are my new BFF. Although they'll never replace you. But I'm just saying. you get together and you tell stories. And that is how you get to know, like, and trust a person. And maybe you've had this experience, Tony, where there is somebody you meet and you're just not drawn to them. There's nothing they've done, nothing they've said, just not connecting. But when you hear that person's story,
correct,
all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I get you. And so that is why I believe that storytelling is one of your most powerful skills.
So when we come back, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about, we just happen to have a coaching call today, you guys. So we're going to talk about that client who had all these wonderful skills, but he couldn't see. I'll be right back with my friend, my girl, Star Bobatoon.
If you think franchising isn't for you, think again. Here's how Multicultural Franchise Connectors is changing the game. At Multicultural Franchise Connectors, we believe in the power of diversity to transform the franchising industry. Our mission? To empower underserved multicultural communities with the knowledge, resources, and connections they need to confidently explore franchising opportunities. Did you know that less than 15% of franchisees are minority-owned? But we're not stopping there. MFC's 4 Paths guide successful business owners in franchising their operations, help potential franchisees interested in purchasing franchise businesses, support business owners to supply their services to franchises, or assist individuals to secure employment opportunities within franchise corporate offices. MFC is designed to break down barriers and open doors. Through comprehensive workshops, mentorship programs, networking events, and expert consultations, we're paving pathways to economic empowerment and community growth. And come 2027, we'll be offering grants to help you secure the financial support you need. Join us today and become part of a thriving multicultural franchise community. Visit multiculturalfranchise.org for more information. Empower your future. Empower your community. Together, we're making franchising dreams a reality.
All right. So let's just briefly touch on that client who was so close to his own stuff, he couldn't even see what you brought out in him.
Yes, yes. So Les Brown says you cannot see the label when you're in the jar. You can't see the label when you're in the jar. So I'm working with a client. This client, we're going to call him Jerome. Jerome has over 40 years as a firefighter and as a captain, last 15 years as a captain. Now I'm like, we were talking and he has answered over 100,000 emergency calls, 100,000 emergency calls. And I'm like, brother, in those 100,000s of emergency calls, you've learned a lot about leadership. Oh, I don't know, maybe my. So we continue having the conversation and I am helping him make connections between how it is to get to a fire, right? So what do you do when you get to a fire situation? First thing you do is assess, of course. And what do you do as a leader? The first thing you do is assess. And so we kept going back and forth where what you do when you hit a fire and what you do as a leader. And every time I would mention something or I would make a connection, his eyes would get bigger and he'd go, wow, I didn't think about it like that. No, because he's in the jar, right? Which is why you got to get a coach. You got to get a coach because a coach can read the label for you. Hey, it says right here, you have this skill and this skill. Oh, you're really good at that. And I've done it myself, Tony.
Yes.
I've done it myself.
Yes.
You know, I went to one of my friends. I was having a really, really bad day. And, you know, one of those self-pity parties, I'm having it. I'm in tears. I call him up and I said, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know. There's nothing good about me. There's nothing that I do. You know, I've done, you know, I've traveled the country. Yes. And I've done all these trainings, you know, all these 40 trainings that I've done, but I don't have any specialty, you know, and I'm feeling bad about myself. He says, Star, you've done over 40 trainings in 47 states. You are the person that they call at 7 o'clock in the morning when the trainer doesn't come. And you're able to jump in and do any training that is set before you. Star, that's your skill. And I was like, oh, that's a good point, because you can't see the label when you're in the jar.
Absolutely. So speaking of hiring a coach, why would you invest in your best friend's coaching program?
Why would I invest in my best friend's?
He was a tough sale, y'all.
So let me just say, when it's your girlfriend and she tells you what to do, you're like, I don't think so. No. I love you. I'm just not going to do it. Right. You're just being kind to me. You're just being nice to me. You don't know. But I finally got to a point where my business is doing okay. I'm doing a lot of referral business, but here's the deal. I need to up level. Right? I need to learn to market so that I can bring in more clients. Now, who do I know? Who do I know? And I call out my girlfriend, Tony, and I'm crying the blues. And she's not even trying to sell me. But I'm crying the blues about blah, blah, blah. And then I say to myself, you know what? I should just hire you. It just dawned on me. It just dawned on me that I should hire you. And you have an approach to networking that just changed the game for me, right? Because I hate networking. Hated it. I don't want to network. Put me on a stage in front of 2,000 people, please. And I would be very comfortable, right? 200 people, I'm comfortable. Put me in a room with 10 people and I'm feeling uncomfortable, right? But you changed all of that for me, with that step-by-step coaching. Do this, just look at this. And it was really about changing the way I thought networking was, right? And that's what you ended up doing, changing the way what I thought networking was. And can I say, in working with you and doing what you say in the networking, man, I've made over $90,000 with the networking technique. I'm going to tell the secret. Here's the secret. Networking is not about selling. That is the big secret. Once I stopped feeling like a used car salesman person every time I went to a networking event, and I said, you know what? I'm just here to meet people and see who I can connect them with. That was my frame of mind. Took all the pressure off. Correct. I would have one-to-one conversations. Another thing that you taught us to do, book your one-to-one conversations while you're there. I would have one-to-one conversations and there's no pressure. And then they come back and go, so I think I need your services.
Correct.
What?
Correct.
I wasn't even trying to sell you. But I think you're $90,000, people. That's all.
Correct. And it's actually been a whole lot more than that if we added 2 years ago. So the other thing is she would do my stuff, then she'd stop because it was working. You know how we do. We all do that. If something's working, we stop. And then we're like, well, how come? So this year she invested and restarted. I'm so proud of you. If I have to tell you, you're one of my star pupils of just do it anyway, uncomfortable. I had her do something this morning, very drastic. She texted me. I had to hear about it, and we won't go into it. But that's why you have a coach.
Because the coach is going to push you. Because Tony knows exactly what I'm comfortable doing. I did what I was comfortable doing. She's like, go this extra step. I'm like, I don't want go this extra step. And so I went the extra step. And just because I want to stick out my tongue at her, I did it another step forward, just so I could say, but that's only going to benefit me.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about speaking of drastic steps, what's the biggest drastic step you've ever taken, Star? And you got a lot of them.
I do have a lot of them. But I'm going to say the most drastic step I took was when so let me set up the scenario. I was working as an attorney, good job. I'm married. We got the houses, we got kids in private school, but something's not right. Something's just not right. And then everything falls apart. My job goes away. My marriage falls apart. My father passes away. And I am just I'm in a space. A friend of mine invites me to one of these motivational seminars. And I don't want to go because I'm having a pity party. Thank you. I end up going to this seminar, and I'm watching all these amazing people on the stage. And it dawns on me, I used to be on the stage. I was a former actress. I spent lots of years on the stage, but I put that away. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching those people. And I'm like, I want to come back to the stage. And then one particular speaker gets on the stage. His name is Les Brown. And Les Brown I'm mesmerized. I'm crying, I'm laughing. And I know in my heart that that is what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And so, because we were separated, so now we're down to one income, except that I lost my job. Did I mention that? So I pretty much have no income, and I'm actually living off my credit cards. I'm living off my credit cards, and I have enough credit to pay next month's mortgage. That's how much credit I have on my credit card to pay next month's mortgage. And I took that money and I invested in myself. I invested in myself. I chose to get coaching with Les Brown because I just knew that I was meant to do something different, something more. And it took a drastic step. That was a drastic step. I do not suggest it. But taking that coaching and doing the work changed the trajectory of my life.
So let's go back. I think you would suggest it because it changed the trajectory of your life. Was it hard? Yes. Was it way uncomfortable? Yes. But the other part is Les Brown is one of her best friends now.
Yes, there is that.
Coach to friend. He's Uncle Les to her kids. So, and some of us still want to meet Les Brown. So there you go. Right? It was worth it, and it was drastic.
But here's the deal. The thing about it, Tony, is it's about taking a chance on yourself. It's like all bets in on me. But there's so many of us that won't do that. We want to piddle around. We want to free around. We want to, just try to soak up as much as we can free. But you gotta put all the chips in and bet on yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will.
Enough said. Mic drop. Poof. All right. So tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
You can get in touch with me by going to email me at star@starbobatoon.com. star@starbobatoon.com. BOBATOON. And there's my telephone number, 703-593-9106. I am on LinkedIn, Star Bobatoon, Facebook, Star Bobatoon, IG, Star Bobatoon. So, Star Bobatoon.
And she is such a star. So the only thing I don't like about Star is her name fits her personality. I should have that name. I'm just saying.
You would certainly be a star. No, Tony, you would be a galaxy.
What? Oh, my goodness. Well, I love you, sis. We met networking, for the record. I'm going to tell you the quick story how we met. We were both working in a training company, and this was before virtual calls were popular. We were on a virtual call. She was speaking, and there was two of us. When I say of us, that means brown sisters. She saw me across a crowded computer screen. I saw her across a crowded computer screen. And like I do, we got on a call, right? We do this. We date ourselves when we do this. It really is this. We got on a call, and I said, okay, when I come to your area, we're going to get together. And true to my form, I reached out. We had lunch, and we've been like this ever since. Take action on your networking, people. It just might change the trajectory of your life. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with my final thoughts. Wasn't that an exhilarating conversation? Star is amazing. If you need help with speaking, getting your story out, getting your messaging out, owning the stage, whatever, whether it's a one-to-one conversation or a room of 1,000, contact Star. If you are interested in learning more about how you can show up to blow up, pick up my book at showuptoblowup.com. And then also, if you want to learn more about franchising, go to my franchise site, drasticfranchise.com. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. And we will see you next week. By the way, you have my full permission to share this video and tell others about it. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.